Natalie Portman is allegedly getting a divorce from her husband Benjamin Millepied after nearly 11 years of marriage. When the news of his supposed affair first broke a few months ago, it seemed like the two of them were trying to save their marriage, but now it looks like everything has come crashing down for them. They seem to be officially over, and you'll never believe just what happened and what everyone is saying about it. The affair was first reported by a French outlet called Voici. They claim that Benjamin had an affair with a French activist named Camille Etienne, and while the affair seemed to be obvious, the outlet also claimed that the whole thing was already in the past, and that Natalie and Benjamin were already working on moving forward in their marriage. At the time, sources even came forward to tell people more information on what was really going on, and they also claimed similar things, saying that the affair was short-lived and was completely over at this point. Although it's hard to know just how long the alleged affair actually lasted, we do know when they first were seen together. According to various sources, Camille was first seen with Benjamin back in 2022. It was initially reported that Benjamin showed up at Camille's office and spent nearly 10 hours before leaving. And on top of that, they apparently left separately, but just minutes apart, which makes it seem even more likely that the two of them were probably trying to sneak around. Based on what an insider told people about the situation, Benjamin knew he'd made a huge mistake the second after it happened. It was also claimed that he was apparently trying to do anything he could to make sure that Natalie forgave him in order to keep their family together. Interestingly enough, neither Benjamin nor Natalie have made statements on the issue themselves. So much of this information is coming from various insider sources, but one insider told people that Natalie is just an incredibly private person, and since this is such a difficult topic, she wants to make sure it doesn't play out in the media. Apparently, her biggest priority at this time is protecting her children and their privacy. The whole thing is pretty sad, especially since there are children involved. But who exactly is Camille anyway? Well, she is 26 years old and 2 decades younger than Benjamin. And like I said, she's actually a well-known French activist. In fact, one of Camille's closest friends is another famous activist named Greta Thunberg, and the two of them share a similar commitment to environmental issues. While she may not be as famous as Natalie, Camille does have her own following. She has over 300,000 followers on Instagram, and over the years, she's written a book, been involved in a short film, participated in debates, and was even named one of the top 50th in France by Vanity Fair in 2020. As interesting as she may be, it's difficult to know just how she and Benjamin came in contact with each other in the first place, especially considering the fact that Benjamin himself comes from the world of dance, which is actually how he met Natalie, since the two of them worked together on the movie Black Swan back in 2010. But as weird as a pairing as Benjamin and Camille might be, they are still both prominent French people, which might be enough to justify how they got together. And some people have reported in the past that before the alleged affair happened, Benjamin and Natalie were already having trouble in their marriage. But weirdly enough, the two of them still celebrated their 10th year wedding anniversary back in 2022, which would have been around the same time as when Benjamin was first seen with Camille. So it's difficult to know just how true that claim is. In response to the whole situation, an inside source claimed that Natalie believed Benjamin when he told her that the affair was quick and meant nothing to him, and that she was waiting to see how everything would play out and if she would be capable of rebuilding the trust with her husband. It was also said that the last thing Natalie or Benjamin want is to have their kids grow up in a broken home, so it was believed that she would at least try to make it work to the best she could. But at the same time, other sources claim that Natalie wasn't really sure if they would be able to repair it, even though it appears as though both of them want to. Just 1 week after the news first made headlines, Page 6 obtained pictures of Natalie and Benjamin out with their kids in the park, and based on what Natalie looked like, it seemed as though she was extremely distressed while having a conversation with her husband. While this is interesting, it's also possible that this negative reaction could have come from the fact that she knew she was being followed by cameras. But just recently, an insider told Us Weekly that after trying to make it work, Natalie and Benjamin were finally on the outs, and it seems as though every attempt they made to save their marriage was ultimately unsuccessful. Things only looked worse for them as Natalie was finally seen without her wedding ring for the first time. On the day that would have been their 11th wedding anniversary, Natalie was spotted in France alone and without her ring, and she even looked pretty down and defeated in the pictures. According to another source who spoke to Radar online, Natalie knew about the alleged cheating problems months before the headlines even broke, and she supposedly thought that even though Benjamin begged her for her forgiveness and was ashamed of his behavior, it would take years of therapy to truly overcome this. It also seems like everyone in Natalie's inner circle just feels extremely sorry for her. Allegedly, they all agree that even if there were some issues in their marriage, no one ever deserves to be cheated on. Her friends and family are completely shocked by this whole thing. Apparently, when they found out about this, they were appalled that he'd treat her like that. And it's ultimately believed that Natalie didn't do anything wrong in their relationship to justify his actions. Now that everyone knows what's allegedly going on, it seems even less likely that we will receive an official statement from Natalie at this time. The whole thing is pretty devastating, and she probably needs time to reflect on what she wants to do next. And as for Benjamin, it's pretty uncertain whether or not he will be able to win Natalie back. It's possible that they might be able to come back together, but it'll probably be years before we see that happening. It's clear that Benjamin's priority right now is his family, but it's pretty hard to feel sorry for him since he got himself into this whole mess to begin with. Only time will tell if any divorce records are made public or if they will just choose to stay separated but still married. What do you guys think about all this? Do you believe that the affair was short-lived and didn't actually mean anything to Benjamin? Why do you think he started the alleged affair to begin with? Let me know in the comments below.